Let's go pick up a mower. I think this one's 250 bucks. It shouldn't be too far away. Got the cash here. Let's roll. I think the truck and trailer should be good to go. This year I'm kind of keeping it hitched up, so I'm ready. This should be a pretty easy flip. I think I should be able to make about 500 bucks off of it, but you never know. I could be wrong. See you guys when I get back. All right, here's what we got going on here. This mower was listed for $500. Really pretty close by. I offered him $250 if I could come get it right now. He said yes. I came there, and I think I should have tried to negotiate him down a little bit farther, and here's why. The mower does start and run well. It seems to drive well. The deck works, and he demonstrated that in the video on the listing, at least the engine and deck. But here's why I feel like I should have tried to negotiate him down a little farther, because there's no battery here. Battery is super simple, but a battery is going to be like 40 bucks. So at $200, I would have felt better about that. Also, the steering wheel is pretty much not in good shape. I have a steering wheel I think that I can put on there, so that's not really a big deal to me. Front tires are a little bit bald, and several of the tires were flat. Oh, this thing's broken too, which is annoying. Those are pretty cheap, and I think I have one as well. I'd like to list this thing for probably around 800 bucks now that we're like in prime mowing season. I think cleaned up, I think you might be able to get a pretty good amount for it. It's really just quite dirty, honestly. This has been welded here, which is very common on these mowers. And I don't know why there's a little bungee strap on here, because I think the tie rod is all held together. Why would somebody put that on here? The blades have pretty good meat on them. At least this one does, but there is a trash bag stuck up under there. So I don't know, did I overpay for it in my enthusiasm and haste? Possibly. I was hoping I could wash this thing off and relist it, but I think it's gonna need just a little bit of work. I think this still could turn out really well. For $250, you probably can't really go wrong. Like, you're not gonna lose money, it's just a matter of we don't really wanna lose time. And is there something better I could have my money in? Sounds pretty fine. I think we just ran out of gas. At least that's what it sounds like. Didn't even think to check the gas. Yeah, that's pretty much empty. Okay. Something somewhere on this thing smells a little bit hot, so I'm a little concerned about that. All right, got some air in the tires, so now I can keep an eye on those and see how we do for leaks. Now let's walk over here real quick. I've got a couple of parts mowers, and yeah, shucks, no front wheels and tires on this one, which would be the ideal one, but it does have a steering wheel, which I should be able to grab off of here, and I can probably grab that throttle cable as well. Yep, looks good. All right, it's the next morning, and I want to get back on this thing and try to get this thing ready to sell today. Hopefully we can list it today and make a quick buck off it. So first things first, I want to get the steering wheel replaced. Time for a bigger impact. Easy peasy. Yeah, for whatever reason, that's a much bigger nut. Hopefully this one will fit. Alright, see if this thing fits on here. Oh yeah, there she goes. I don't think that's gonna come off now. Perfect, much better. It's pretty creative there. This hood is a little bit funky. It's not quite lining up the way I want it to when I try to get this air shroud in place. So I may need to take this air shroud out. I may just remove it, honestly, but I'll try to work with this thing and see what I can get it to do. Try to make it look a little bit better and how it fits. All right, so I've been finagling this hood around and looking at this mower more thoroughly. And I pulled this thingy off of here. And what do you know, this tie rod really is that loose. That just pops right off. And well, you can see these, the stops have been bent too, probably because that's popped off and the wheel has gotten spun around and it was some impact. I'm not really super concerned about these, except for this one here that was, it looks like, rubbing the sidewall a little bit. So we got a little sidewall rub on here. So I'm probably gonna try to bend this one back, but I need to replace that tie rod. I may replace this whole spindle. Yeah, I'm realizing I probably shouldn't have paid what I paid for this mower, or I shouldn't have bought it. Thankfully it's not out of oil. Oil is just about right, but it is dirty. Air filter is pretty nasty. One of the nastiest ones I've seen on a mower like this. So, this is way too much of an impulse buy, because it was close by, and he got listed at 500 and it ran, and he accepted my offer of 250. I didn't do my due diligence on this. I think it's still gonna turn out okay just because I do have a parts mower over there that I can scavenge parts off of, but I really want to get this for sale quick, and it's just more and more stuff that's needing work on it, so we'll see. But I think I'm gonna take a break off this one, break from this mower, because I've got another mower that I'm working on right now that is more valuable that I want to get up for sale. I thought I'd be able to just flip this real quick, and it may not be that bad, but I want to get this other one wrapped up first and then get back on this one. At least that's kind of the plan. So, all right, it's time to get this dirty bird washed off. This thing is nasty. Let's see if we can get it a little bit cleaner than it is. All right, well, it cleaned up fairly nicely, but underneath all the dirt, there still is some damage, but it is what it is. I'll have to figure out how much I want to try to polish or clean off the blemishes. But like the hood just has a ton of scratches and some black on there, things like that. And just looking around the trimming side of the mower, we've got a lot of stuff on there. And it's a little more noticeable with the orange paint. So I just have to, figure out what's worth my time. That's what it's all about, is time. How much you want to get for how much time you put into it. All right, well, it's time we got this mower wrapped up and out of here. So I was working out this morning, and part of what stalled me on it was two things, actually. One is a tire that goes flat, and I don't like working on tires. I aired it up this morning, so we should be able to check in a little bit. And the deck had been re-welded, and still wasn't that great. So I went and added some more of my own not greatness on top of the old not greatness, and hopefully all that not great welding will hold it together. I mean, it was still holding together, but I don't really want to show my welding too close because it's pretty bad. And you can't really tell which is mine and which was previously there. But went ahead and ran over it with some orange paint, which does not match. Oh man, that's nasty. I also tried to straighten out this wheel here and add a little weld in there so it doesn't pull out. Oh yeah, one other thing I did is I tried to fix this hood a little bit. So we were missing a bracket here, or it was broken. Like the screw goes in to this part here on the gray. On the gray, that part was gone, so I just drilled a little teensy hole through there, used some wire. That seems to be holding it together just fine. This is the tire that we're gonna have to check for leaks. If it's a bead, maybe we can use my new bead sealer. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, I changed out the air filter this morning. I didn't have a new one, so I used a not very bad used one. The one that was in here was terrible. So we still need to do an oil change probably. This oil doesn't look real good. I'm really just trying to get this thing in a saleable condition. Here's the used air filter. It is what it is. It's a used mower. It's still got life left in it. I just want it to function and work well for the next person. But if they get it home and the tire's going flat immediately, that'd be a problem. I want them to be able to get home and be able to mow with this thing. Next up, I'm gonna throw this deck back in there. for all its quirkiness and issues, that thing starts really good. All right, deck is back on. Let's see if this thing works. So what happened there was, apparently when I put a new throttle cable on here because this lever was broken, I adjusted it so that it comes on to choke at what would normally be full throttle. I don't know if you can see in there's a little detent. I can't even get the lever pushed up to that detent. So I'm full choking it way too early. Really the next thing up is to, well, besides adjusting that, would be to get that tire fixed. All right, I went and tested this thing, got it nice and warm. Seems to work pretty good. Now we're giving it a quick oil change. That oil definitely could stand to be changed. I think I've got a filter here I can throw on it. It's been sitting in the shop a while. It's a little longer, but I think it'll work. I got some old oil. I say old, but still unused, I believe. So I'll throw that oil in there, and I think I might raise up this side of the deck just a hair. When I was cutting, I thought it was just a little bit low. Well, this is what I get for adjusting the deck while draining the oil. Yeah, that pan tipped over that way and dumped all the oil out when I dropped this part of the deck down, which I kind of had known might be an issue and then stopped thinking about. This thing absorbs so much oil, it's crazy. Let those soak in there for a little bit. All right, I think we're done on this thing. Got the oil and filter changed. Got the deck leveled up a little bit. I did have a little trouble adjusting the deck height here on that thing, which looks pretty straightforward, but I couldn't get it to spin. Here, this is the one that was on there, so I actually got another one for my junk mower. If I tried harder, maybe I could have gotten it to spin, because that one I ended up using was hard to spin anyway, so I may have ended up about the same place. Yeah, this mower has 366 hours on it. I don't think it's had the easiest life. I think tying the shoe up with the dash, tying the chute up with the dash right here has kind of pulled the dash over a little bit, twisted it, but I'll leave that in here in case the next person wants to use that to hold the chute up. Probably check and make sure my tire's not leaking again. I did put a plug in there. I actually put two in there because I haven't done tire plugs in, could be talking 15 years ago. So the first plug, unfortunately, resides completely inside the tire. And the second plug almost did, but I was able to get a little bit of it out and then grab this needle nose and pull it out a little bit farther. So it's not all the way in, but hopefully it's not leaking. Yeah, I don't think it's leaking. It's time to sell this thing before I spend any more time on it. I just got this thing all washed up and pictured and just listed it. So I listed it at $850, which is probably a little high. We'll see if we get any interest or not, but it's kind of a prime time of the season. I'd like to get my money back out of it. We'll see if it sells. All right, well, it sounds like we have a deal made for this mower. $900 for this thing delivered about an hour away. I had it listed at $850, but with gas prices and the time and whatnot, we settled on $900 to deliver it. So we'll see how that goes. I did just turn it on and it starts right up again. Tires seem to be holding air okay, so we seem to be good. I'll probably get that thing loaded up and we'll head out in the morning. All right, so this flip turned out halfway decent, but there are some things I would do differently if I were to do this again. First of all, I do think I paid a little bit too much for it. I was excited because it was close by and he agreed to come down halfway on his price before I even showed up. But when I got there, it was missing the battery, which is, you know, it was something that wasn't disclosed ahead of time, and batteries cost something. So I feel like I could have gotten him down a little bit more for that. I probably should have been a little more suspicious about the little elastic strap on the front axle. Just because I have parts doesn't mean that it doesn't take time to swap them out. But at the end of the day, we made a decent profit on this. So let's go over real quick kind of the work that we did on this mower. So we paid $250 for it. We spent $40-ish for a new battery. I did an oil filter and change. That was probably 15-20 bucks, so we're maybe $60 now. And the air filter, I put in a used one that I had that was a lot nicer than the one on there. Now I would go ahead and put in a new one. I can get them overnight on Amazon pretty much, and I have them on hand now, and I didn't at the time, so I would do that differently. So that didn't cost me anything though. And the front axle, I had those parts here. That didn't cost me anything. And the steering wheel, I swapped that out with another steering wheel I had here, so that didn't cost me anything. Let's see, I added some welding onto the deck. That was time again. And then, let's see, we fixed the tire. That didn't really cost much of anything. This project was really all about the time spent on it. Really, we didn't put a ton of money into this one, just about $250 plus 40 plus 20, so, and that 20 can include the little bit of paint probably. So roughly $320 invested in this mower. Then we got a pretty good sale because it was delivered. $900 delivered. It was maybe 45 minutes to an hour away, so again, more time. But we made a profit of $900 minus $320, which is, yeah, so we made a profit of about $580 on this, which, I mean, that was some money, but for the amount of time I put into it, I would try to be a little more careful in the future. But part of it's also learning how to work on these things quickly. At the end of the day, if all of this work had been done at one time and had a clear thought process behind it, it probably would have only taken 1 or 2 days to do it. So it's not that terrible. But thank you all so much for joining us for this story here at Garage Story. As always, stay safe. Don't forget to spend time with your families, but also don't be afraid to get out there and break a wrench. Boop. See ya.